In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with Trey Taylor. In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping. I'm Trey Taylor, and today we're coping with health messaging in unexpected places. Pamela Bynoe, Marketing Director with the Comet Bus System, joins us, along with President and CEO of Thomas Media Group, Black Pages, Black Expo, Darrin Thomas, and from DHEC, Michelle Harris joins us. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Looking forward to a great conversation.
Thank you, Trey.
All right, y'all go ahead and answer that phone and we'll come right back with more of that next on Coping. I'm Trey Taylor, but first your community updates. SCDHEC has your most up-to-date list of times, dates, and locations for COVID testing, flu shots, and COVID vaccinations. Visit scdhec.gov for more information. Now, throughout the show, you will see scrolling at the bottom of the screen all types of information, including where you can still get 5 free rapid self-tests, even if you've gotten 5 by logging on to covidtests.gov. I just got mine in the mail yesterday, and less than 2 weeks ago, I applied. Also, COVID vaccinations for vets are still being handled by the VA. Several retail outlets are still offering testing and vaccinations. That includes Walgreens, Kroger, and CVS, and that includes the CVS located in Target stores. And then also, you can also get some information from SC Bar Association, SC Legal Services. They have a free toll-free number, and website for rental and mortgage help. You can get information right there on the screen about Get Set Up if you or someone you know is having a challenge with technology and making your COVID vaccine appointments. You can call Get Set Up. Now, we also have several financial resources that you can see on the screen. If you've had a COVID-19 related funeral expense, you could get a reimbursement for FEMA. Also, Lexington, NAACP, and United Way have a housing stability system. And also, if you or someone you know is having a challenge coping, SC Hopes is a 24-hour assistance line from the South Carolina Department of Mental Health. In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping. I'm Trey Taylor, and we are actually streaming live on the In It Together Facebook page. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow, and find out not only when we go live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, but on that page, there is so much great information about living a healthy lifestyle and getting your diabetes in check, including where you can sign up for both an in-person and virtual diabetes assistance program throughout the state of South Carolina. We're also streaming live on the In It Together YouTube channel. Please go over there and get all types of great resources. Now, we're also streaming live on the Tailor Made production page on Facebook. That's the home of Coping, hosted by Trey Taylor. Please go over there and also hit like and share and follow. Find out when we go live, again, every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council, and also on Thursday and Friday. We're streaming live also on the YouTube channel. Now, there you can find 3 years of interviews, information, and resources on how you can cope. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. Now, we also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Hey, don't forget, you are watching Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. We're here streaming live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook. Today, we are coping with health messaging in unexpected places. Now, Pamela Bynoe with the Comet Bus System will join us in a few moments. But first, Darrin Thomas joins us. He is CEO and President of Thomas Media Group, owners of Black Pages, Black Expo. Michelle Harris is also with us. She is a public relations officer at SCDHEC, and she is kind of the quote unquote brains behind all of these great collaborations. Guys, thank you again so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Michelle, tell me, how did you guys come to collaborate?
Sure. And first, let me correct. I am more the do person when it comes to a lot of the health messaging, because we have a lot of wonderful people here at the agency who work in communications, who work in our division of diabetes and heart disease management. So a lot of these ideas came from a team of people, and how we came to do these things is well. It's part of the background. Many of the people that work in our division right now are former people who worked in the Office of Minority Health, which at that time was responsible for getting health messages out across the state, especially to minority and disparate populations. So when you have a team of people who come with that mindset, then we're coupled with the fact that CDC provided us with an innovations grant. They really wanted us to try something different. Let's try something new. And what's funny is that preceded the pandemic, but thank God for it, because when the pandemic hit, we had no choice but to find new ways to reach people. So,
Right.
in a sense, that's how it all came about. Now, as far as the Black Pages or the Black Expo and Black Pages, of course, community staple. We've known about Black Expo for years. We know it to be one of the premier events, the largest African American event many times in the state. So it was one of those things that was prominent and that was there, and that you have to go where the people are. So Darrin knows how to draw the people, so we had to get to Darrin. That was the important thing.
So, Darrin, what did you think about when DHEC came to you and said, all right, we want to utilize your Black Expo series to kind of promote the diabetes prevention program?
Well, so here's the thing. What we have to remember in the years that we've been fortunate in hosting this event, Black Expo is really what's been paramount to our success has been the amount of collaborative relationships that we've been able to develop. All right, that we're touching other facets in the community to make this Black Expo work. Number one. Number two, Trey, from our perspective, we've always held the premise: healthy consumers make better economic decisions. That's always been the premise of Black Expo and our health initiatives. And while the focus of the expo has always been about economic empowerment, um, how do we move the community, move the needle in the community? This was a win-win because it fit what we had always believed, again, that healthy consumers make better economic decisions. And in this time in particular, in the wake of a pandemic, with DHEC, a noted state agency reaching out to the community through this vessel, Black Expo, it just made sense. So much so that because of the success of the partnership with DHEC, it opened the door to other DHEC partners coming to us and saying, we believe that the vaccination hesitancy initiative would take greater root if we partnered with Black Expo as well. So let's talk about what we're doing with DHEC and how Black Expo can help us from help us meet our goals with this specific initiative. So it was a win-win all around.
Right, right. In it together, SC and the Diabetes Action Council present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping. I'm Trey Taylor. We're talking about unexpected health collaborations or health collaborations in unexpected places. Darrin Thomas with Black Pages, Black Expo, Thomas Media Group joins us along with Michelle Harris. She's a public information officer with one of the divisions over at DHEC. And we're talking about how they came together for DHEC and In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council to promote their initiatives at Black Expo. Now, Darrin, you said this kind of opened up other opportunities
Absolutely.
for other entities. How did that kind of happen?
Well, I think here again, everyone was looking at safe, unique ways to be able to touch some of the underserved populations. And true, Black Expo has been very fortunate in that it served in that role. And quite honestly, the real test of metal for us was how we were going to do that in a safe environment, and at the same time protect the brands of all of our partners. And once
Right.
we demonstrated that, it made it easier, Trey, for partners like DHEC and extensions of the Michelle Harrises of the world, others, to say, you know what, God, we want to do this. Case in point, last year, the big question, particularly in our Charleston Expo, was how are you going to do it safely? Well, we required vaccinations. We tested people on site. We partnered with Federal Health Center to provide rapid tests on site. We partnered with MUSC to do vaccinations on site. There was a litany of things that we did. And once we demonstrated that we had the best interest, public health, safety, best interest at heart, it opened the door for others to say, well, since you're doing that, why can't we take this a step further and look at how we might be able to use this particular event to help further this health message? So again, I think because relationships like those with DHEC, and it will tell you what the DHEC brand association did. And this is why this is so critical with what Michelle does. Because DHEC is a noted, respected brand in
Right.
the community. By associating it with Black Expo, coupled with what our team was attempting to go ahead and put in place, it made it conducive for the market to look at it and say, well, wait a minute, if DHEC is a partner and they're promoting these DHEC initiatives, then that makes sense. Then yeah, we want to attend, we want to be a part of it. Or it added to what people's expectations had been in
Right.
that Black Expo was going to do things right with the
Gotcha.
best interest of a marketplace. So the DHEC brand association with Black Expo helped us and put us in a position to help further current health concerns.
Yeah, that's great. And I would think that even the collaboration, the partnership, DHEC, so to speak, co-signing, giving the thumbs up to the Thomas Media Group brand may also bring in other sponsors and other
Oh,
partners.
absolutely. Absolutely. It did the same with MUSC. It did the same with Roper, Prisma, some traditional partners, Everly Health, Natalis Health. So many partners saw and understood the uniqueness. And once again, because we were fortunate in making them comfortable and then adding that DHEC brand to it, said, you know what? Hey, this makes sense. This is a no-brainer. We need to be a part of this. And here's the thing, Michelle and Trey, it also said to our attendees that, you know what, this is something we can feel comfortable
Right,
and
right.
safe about being part of, and the information is going to be well suited for us as a family, as an individual, as a community.
Because Black Expo is a trusted brand in the Black community.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I was about to say that Black Expo brought to us, I feel like, as much as we brought to it, in the sense that, you know, you can't stay in an ivory tower. You can't sit in the administrative building and then say, oh, I sure hope this message gets out. You know, you
Right.
have to go where people are, and being able to be a part of something that is, again, basically a tradition activity, meaning that people schedule
Over
it every
25
year.
years.
Exactly. They're going to go every year to Black Expo. So we knew that the people would come. What I think is interesting about the extended partnerships, because some of the partners that came on board were also part of the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina. So
Right.
DHEC supports very much the Diabetes Action Council, which is really nothing but a group of statewide partners who are trying to get this information out. But seeing is really believing, because you can tell somebody that this is a fantastic event, but when they attend it, when they see it, that's when people are blown away by, oh my
Yeah.
God, all of these people are coming. What was fantastic for us is they're coming in a good mood. I mean, you know, from your show, Trey, the pandemic has been hard on people.
Yeah.
People have been stressed out. People have been sick. So being able to come back together in a safe environment where they're going to be
A
entertained,
festive environment, a safe, festive
Exactly.
environment. Yeah.
Yes, when people are receptive, they're open, they're happy. And this is where we want our messaging to go to, because going to the hospital, going to the health department sometimes can be very stressful because you're thinking about this thing that you're taking care of. But going to Black Expo is something you enjoy, it's something you do with your whole family. So if we can meet you there when you're smiling and in a good mood, you're much more receptive to our message.
Yeah. And then on top of that, when it comes to healthcare and people of color, there's all already a red flag up. So again, that again speaks to, I think, Darrin's brand being a trusted source. So it's almost like if it's at Black Expo, the anxiety is eased, is
Right.
lifted on having a vaccination, dealing with my diabetes, those kinds of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking to Darrin Thomas, CEO of Thomas Media Group, Black Pages, Black Expo. Michelle Harris joins us also with DX. She's a public information officer. We are talking about health messages in unexpected places, and we're talking about the collaboration last year and possibly this year with Black Expo and Diabetes Action Council and In It Together SC. So let's talk about now what that collaboration looked like. What did the partnership look like at Black Expo, D and Michelle?
Well, first of all, aside from the brand, there was the presence itself, and there was a health initiative, and not only just a health initiative that we took into account, but it was also protection. So there was, how do you protect yourself? How do you guard against? But also, hear these things from a health perspective, diabetes prevention, obesity, all those things that historically have been albatrosses to our community segment.
Right, right,
We use the event to attack those things, and to avert any kind of historical concerns, or help giving the right information. That's really what the attack plan was. Now, and to Michelle's point, those folks who came from the Minority Health Initiatives Council, those folks had the framework and the mindset to know how to use this event to really yield the best return. So from the perspective of that attendee coming in, they got to connect and interact with individuals from DHEC specifically. And guys, here's the thing. I'll take a step back, and I knew the value of of this partnership, because Michelle and Trey, I'll never forget in 2020 having a conversation with state epidemiologist Dr. Linda
Linda
Bell
Bell. Mm-hmm.
regarding Black Expo, because Michelle and Trey, we were in the middle of Charleston Black Expo in 2020, literally, and we had to shut down the event while exhibit
Mm-hmm.
setting up. And I'll never forget, I given Dr. Bell a call. She was a church member, asking her advice, and she said, Darrin, it would be um, irresponsible of you to host
Mm-hmm.
an event of this magnitude where it disproportionately negatively impacted the community that you're trying to serve. I
Right.
took that to heart, and then fast forwarded a couple of years and said, okay, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to use this event because of its reach in this marketplace, to make certain that DHEC presence, those individuals that are there, that are being a part of this, that are attending, we're using every aspect, whether it's healthy food demonstrations, whether it's the dissemination of information, how do we attack diabetes from different angles, all those things, so that the presence was truly felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to commend Darrin too, because I was going to say he's being a little modest about his commitment. Because one of the things that we look for, I know, in partnerships is, yes, we have an investment that we can make, but does the partner that we're trying to work with, do they catch the spirit of what we're trying to do? And
Right.
it was extremely clear from the very beginning with Black Expo and with Darrin that he got what it is we were trying to do. So he didn't look at the dollars and cents and say, okay, for this amount of dollars, we'll put you over here in the corner or whatever. What he did was, where do we need to position you to make sure that you have the maximum exposure? Do you need one booth? Do you need two booths? How are we going to do this? Do you need Friday night? Do you need Saturday night? How many people do you need to come in to get the message out? And then we'll worry about the dollars and cents on the back end. And that's the kind of partner that we look for. Somebody who is saying, it is more important to me that people get this message and get it thoroughly than we are about matching dollars and cents in the sponsorships. So any partner like that, that's the kind of partner we want to continue to work with.
Yeah. So to that point, Michelle and Darrin, so there's several events that encompass Black Expo weekend in both Columbia and in Charleston. So what did you guys do? I mean, obviously I know, but just tell me what did you guys end up doing? Was it Friday? Was it Saturday? And how did people react?
Well, first of all, we had a presence on Friday at the Taste of Black Columbia. We had a presence on Saturday at Black Expo. We brought in we partnered with DHEC to bring in a chef. We did some healthy cooking, food demonstrations, and these are local chefs that people were familiar with in the community.
Right.
We wanted folks to understand that not only were we fully vested in the community, but we wanted to bring in stakeholders who they trusted and believed as well, so that they could help us shape that message, so that the impact from those attending was had a greater impact. But we try to replicate that across the board, but the Charleston and Columbia, and I will say this as well. We looked at the successes from the events and just said, okay, what did we do in this market that we need to do differently in another market? Maybe there's a different way that we approach the marketplace in Charleston and Columbia. While there are a lot of things that are synonymous, there may be a different mechanism that we might want to utilize to have the greater return in a specific area. So while the presence was felt throughout the weekend, of course we had DHEC representatives at the kickoff, but where the public was out, it was at the Taste of Black Columbia, Taste of Black Charleston, and of course at Black Expo on that Saturday.
And I'm the believer in that as many senses you can get people to use, the more the message gets in with them. So we talked a little bit about the healthy food demonstrations. That was a fantastic hit. To have people there where the chef could kind of educate while she's talking about healthy cooking,
Right,
and showing techniques. Then you could taste something. Then you move over to the next booth, and we were giving away healthy cookbooks and recipe cards, and people were more receptive to the information. The Taste of Black Columbia, I know for us here in the Midlands, it cannot be overemphasized about what a great networking event that is, because people are moving from table to table in different places, and the stuff is not necessarily locale and all that, but we always do make we always let people know everything in moderation. So
that's right.
But being able to meet community leaders, being able to be present in places where people think, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about diabetes prevention. I wonder how this can work with my employees or my business or that sort of thing. So we really, in a sense, we really were just getting started as far as ideas and ways that we could collaborate. And we had some good after action discussion so that we could see, okay, well, doing this again, what would it look like? How could we expand? So It was actually a great success.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what I want to know. Coming after the event, seeing what happened, seeing what the response was, Darrin, from participants. Is there anything that you would do differently, add or subtract for future collaborations with Black Expo?
You're asking me, Trey?
I'm asking whoever wants to answer.
Well, first of all, let me say this. Last year was such a huge success. We're excited about the prospect of doing anything with DHEC for many reasons. One, it resonated with the marketplace. Two, it opened the eyes of other partners. And three, the brand association, added to our credibility. So when, as we look forward, we're very hopeful that that DHEC and other entities like DHEC would see the value with a Black Expo. And I know Michelle and her team knows, but I don't want us to simply look at just the successes of last year and simply try to replicate it. I want to look at and say, okay, well, How can we raise the bar? What is there something else that we can do differently within this market segment that would be beneficial to the mission of DHEC and Black Expo?
And
Mm-hmm.
see, as a partner, again, that's the kind of vision that we want. Whenever you can get someone else who is saying, "Hey, I'm vested in this too. I'm thinking about how we can expand your message." That's what we want to continue with. Now, I'll tell you this: DHEC learned a long time ago to not give me the checkbook, but when it comes to because we have to come back and we have to evaluate for CDC and the state and how we invest those dollars. So being able to come back and talk about the receptivity of our message, about the attendance, about the outreach that we were able to get, that helps us to be able to take those CDC dollars and say, let's further this message. Because as you see, we can purchase airtime on radio stations and television stations and in print, but those live events, that one-on-one, it means something when we're telling someone, hey, go to the inittogethersc.org website and take the risk assessment. At a live event, you can stand there while somebody is taking it. They can ask you questions right there of subject matter experts. Those things are invaluable. I will tell Darrin as well, because our funding, again, goes ups and down and around and around, and grant cycles go in and out. But one of the things that we do as an agency is we come back to the roundtable and we talk to the other programs, because they're also saying, well, where can we go? What works? And so being able to come back and say, hey, first of all, I'm shocked that we haven't been collaborating with Black Expo all these years. But guys, I'm going to tell you guys, we hit on something that really was successful. So there's an opportunity even for expansion in other programs, because what works is what works. I mean,
Right.
So yeah, we would be happy to come back as many times as they'll have us, and as many times as we have funding to be able to support it. But one thing I love about Darrin too is I already know, again, it's about the health messaging. So if at some point we ain't got a whole lot of funding, he'll be like, come on, let's see what we can do. I appreciate that.
Is that right?
I said, see what we could do. See what we could do. I didn't say take it over.
Michelle Harris joins us from DHEC. She is a public information officer. Darrin Thomas with Thomas Media Group, Black Pages, Black Expo. Hey, G, before you go, tell us about the upcoming 2023 Black Expo season.
So the Black Expo for 2023 in Charleston is March 9th through the 11th. It's the second weekend in March in Charleston. We've got an exciting weekend planned. We've got a really location of the taste, which will be very unique this year. We're not quite able to make that public, but the Black Expo on that Saturday with Eva Marche, we've got an incredible lineup. And then for 2023 in Columbia, it's the second weekend in Columbia this year. So traditionally it's been in the third weekend, but we're the second weekend in Columbia. It'll be another stellar affair. The Taste of Black Columbia will be that Friday night at the State Museum. Last year was so successful coming out of COVID. We had such good feedback. We early marketing, early planning has put us in a position to we're just starting to see folks come who are just excited about the event, but just getting back to what they expected, or the experience they had from Black Expo many years ago. So second weekend in March for Charleston, second weekend in May for Columbia.
And people can go to the website, blackexposouth.com for more information.
Blackexposouth.com for more info.
All right. Darrin Thomas, CEO and president of Black Pages, Black Expo. He joins us today. Again, as he said, go to the website and find out more about upcoming events. And of course, Michelle Harris joins us, Communications and Resource Coordinator with DHEC, Division of Diabetes and Heart Disease Management. We've been talking about these unexpected collaborations that DHEC does. Darrin, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Coming up next, how the Comet bus system is utilizing their non-traditional collaborations. Pamela Bynoe joins us next on Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council on coping. I'm Trey Taylor, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Judy Gatson. As a news anchor, wife, and mom, I know how important it is to take care of our health. Part of taking care of our health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is a serious health condition and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. It's estimated that more than 1.3 million South Carolinians have it, and up to 90% have no idea. Take a moment to visit inittogethersc.org to take an online test to find out your risk of prediabetes and how to join a diabetes prevention program that takes the guesswork out of losing weight, eating better, and being more active. You can learn new ways to stay healthy and sustain those changes over time. When you join, you'll even get support from a trained lifestyle coach to help you set and achieve realistic goals. Go to inittogethersc.org, brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
The Comet gives me a reliable source of transportation.
It's very convenient to me, and they have wonderful drivers.
It's clean and it builds community. It's fun to meet people.
It makes me feel like really independent. It's just fun.
It's always going to be there and it gets me everywhere I need to go.
We try to ride every single day. Comedy is our livelihood.
In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping. I'm Trey Taylor. And don't forget, we are streaming live on the In It Together Facebook page. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow and find out when we go live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. We're also streaming live on the In It Together YouTube channel. All of that, you can find so much great information about all of the programs, initiatives, living a healthy lifestyle, and of course, how you can get connected with both a live in-person and also virtual diabetes prevention program. We're also streaming live on the Home of Coping, hosted by yours truly, Trey Taylor. Please go over to the Facebook page and hit like and share and follow. Once again, find out when we go live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, and then 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday and Friday. We're streaming live on the YouTube channel. Also, we would love for you to hit the subscribe button there. You will find 3+ years of interviews, resources, and also information to help you thrive and survive, because we're always coping with something. We also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Today, we are coping with unexpected collaborations. Pamela Bynoe Reed is Director of Marketing, Community Affairs, and Public Information Officer with the Comet. She joins us, and Michelle Harris with a DHEC rejoins us to talk about their collaborations. Hey, Pam, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Trey, for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us about this collaboration with the Comet and DHEC. Pam and Michelle, do you want to talk about it together?
Well, listen, let me start off, because one of the things that I was excited about, and that's something that's good about having been in this community, in the Midlands community for so long, is that I was so super excited when I heard that Pam was over at the Comet Bus, because I knew, okay, we're going to have, a very dynamic outreach program, and she has done so much to raise awareness about the Comet Bus. So again, here come back to the Innovations Grant. We're talking about ways that we can get the diabetes messaging out. What can we do? And we talk about the buses as rolling billboards. And I said, wait a minute. Not only would the Comet Bus be great, but I know the person that's over there. From the moment we got in contact, Pam's answers were yes. Let's see how we can make this happen. So I just wanted to set the stage with that, because I was so thrilled at how excited she was to help us get this message out.
So Pam, why was it so attractive to you?
First of all, I want to thank Michelle for reaching out for this initiative. Yes, we were very excited about the potential of what we can do in this collaboration. Our former late executive director, Derek Huggins, was extremely passionate about the connectivity between public transportation and education, economic development, and healthcare. So, when I told him about it, he stamped it immediately, like, yes, let's do this. Public transportation does not only provide logistical access as far as connecting people to locations, but it's the connector to essential resources. And just being able to utilize it as a moving billboard for something as important as diabetes awareness was just, it was definitely something that we felt that we needed to do, especially as you look at the people who are transit dependent who ride our system, and it's over 75% African American, and we know
Right.
diabetes hits African Americans harder than any other demographic group.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So how long is the partnership? What did the partnership look like, and how long is it going to be lasting?
So the logistics of it were that we started it mid last year because of course there's all sorts of paperwork that has to go through and artwork and everything else. And one of the things I love about government is there are lots of cooks in the kitchen. So but it took longer than it would normally take, probably, to get the actual wrap on the bus. But right now it's set to go through May. It has become so popular until we want to see how long we can extend it, because when I tell you there is a level of excitement about whatever we see, well, first of all, I guess we chase the bus down because we're so excited when we see it. But even the city of Columbia, and Pam can tell you some more about this, even the city of Columbia used it as a center, a backdrop for their proclamation about diabetes awareness. So, I mean, it just, our agency director even talked about it. I mean, it's been publicized across the state. So it's just been so incredibly successful.
So what was the goal of wrapping the bus? And you mentioned it's basically a bus wrap. And is the bus wrap promoting the diabetes prevention programs?
Yes, of this. So it's a 360 wrap, and there's even at the inittogethersc.org website. If you go to DACFlix to the YouTube, there's a video, there's some photos of the bus. It's really, it tells a story, because diabetes prevention and management are several things. First, you have to take a risk assessment to see if you're even at risk. Then you want to find a program for diabetes prevention. Then there's also information if you already have diabetes self-management. So each side of the bus has information that the messaging that has that story with QR codes. I mean, that's how clear this wrap is, where you can be sitting behind the bus in your car and scan the QR code and get to the risk assessment. You can, if the bus pulls up beside you on the one side, you can scan it on the side. I mean, it's really a high functioning message component, if you will. But I'll tell you something else, how we already knew that the Comet would be a great partner. The poster that's behind Pam about not missing the shot, the Comet, I mean, the leadership that you all took with COVID information, COVID vaccines, you're still doing it. That's how we knew, oh yeah, we know that they're going to be, they'll handle our information with care.
Right. Well, Pam, before you go there, we've got the video ready, so I want to run it right quick.
We love it.
So Pam, what were you going to say?
I just wanted to give a shout out to DHEC, because with that Don't Miss Your Shot campaign, they were intimately involved with that, as well as helping us to be one of the first community organizations that was not healthcare. They supplied our testing before the vaccine was out. They provided the testing at our Comet Central Hub. So they've been a tremendous pioneer, if you will, in the fight against health disparities, and making sure that people who are sometimes overlooked get the information needed to make sure that they live their healthiest life.
Yeah. Pamela Bynoe Reed is Director of Marketing, Community Affairs, and PIO with the Comet Bus System. Michelle Harris also joins us. She is a Public Information Officer also over at DHEC at their Division of Diabetes and Healthcare. And we're talking about healthcare collaborations in unexpected places. And of course, we're talking about their collaboration with the Comet. So how did bus riders respond, Pam, to the wrapped bus? letting them know about how they can tackle and control their diabetes?
Sure. That's a great question. First of all, they were excited because they thought they had a brand new bus coming on their routes. I mean, because it was so well done, and then at any given time when the bus is pulling up, you can see, our riders that have smartphones with their phone going, well, what does that QR code lead to? So they're actively engaging in the information. And what Michelle didn't mention is not only do we have the bus wrap, but this month you'll see on the inside of the bus, we have advertising that will go on the inside of each vehicle we have, whether it's our fixed route buses or whether it's our reflex on demand and DART vehicles. So that information will be there. So we have multiple touch points on how people can access the information about diabetes awareness.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, I'm sorry, Trey. I continue to gush about the bus because it is so exciting, because just what Pam mentioned, it was so striking. I mean, the Comet buses normally are very colorful, so people are used to that. So to have that clean look with those big graphics and the QR codes, it looks very different. And it's a distinctive bus that you see going all around, because one of the things that's wonderful, in case anybody is wondering about how far their message will go, Pam let us know that this bus rolls throughout all of their routes. There's not just one route. So everybody in their entire service area gets to see it, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Michelle, because I was going to ask, so where did the bus go? What was the bus route for that particular bus? But go ahead. What else were you going to say, Michelle?
Oh, no, I just was, and even, but again, Pam maximizing what we were doing, because the Comet is active in many things. So I get a call from her right before the holidays, and she said, hey, we're going to be out at the Gamecock Village. We're taking a bus. They can take any bus they wanted to. Right. It was their event. But she said, hey, you want to take the diabetes bus? And then you can bring some folks from the Diabetes Action Council, from DHEC. You can hand out information. I mean, what a fantastic opportunity. Mm-hmm. So when you have partners like that, it's easy to get excited about being a partner with them.
Yeah. So Pam, just kind of piggyback on Michelle's point as to how you guys really utilized that particular bus and why.
Well, the thing about it is, you asked a question a little bit earlier about where the bus goes.
Yeah.
So any bus can be on any route on any day at any time. And just to kind of put that into some context, in our last our last data, which was fiscal year 2021, our fixed route buses drove over 2,067,038 miles. So that's over 2 million miles that they've done in a year. So think of how many people that can reach in any given time. And our buses, are on the roads 364 days a year.
And what's amazing is, too, just like we talked about, I was wondering, it was great to hear what Pam was talking about how the bus riders were responding, but let's not lose the rolling billboard, because there are people that rode the bus, but people, as many people utilize it who are just seeing the bus, and that's anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a great point, because as Pam said, the bus is going everywhere. People, I love, Pam, that you said bus riders were excited because they felt like that was their new bus. What we don't understand is non-bus riders, that's their new car.
Exactly.
Just like we're excited about, our new ride, that's their new ride, Yeah. And then, of course, as Michelle said, it's going throughout the city. And so it's a rolling, as you said, Michelle, it's a rolling billboard for people to see the information and be able to utilize the information. And of course, there is a demographic of people that are QR code savvy.
Right.
There's some people who are not, but there's a huge demographic of people who are QR code savvy. And like you said, Pam, they want to know, where's that QR code take me?
Exactly. And, you mentioned around the city, but, we we travel throughout Richland County and parts of Lexington County. And then
Wow.
we have 2 routes that go even farther than that. We have the 93X that goes all the way out to Chapin and comes into town. And then we have the 44X that's in Sumter, hits Sumter and comes up to Columbia. So, the reach is a lot more than just the city of Columbia, but within the county area and a little bit out of that as well.
Yeah. Pam, can you give us an update on the Comet? I'm sure there are always lots of things going on, programs, promotions, changes. What's happening with the Comet bus system?
So we are waiting for our electric buses to come in that we announced.
It's electric.
Yeah, but the process is a little slower because the supply chain is kind of chugging along. It's not as quick as it used to be, but I know that's it's getting better. So we're crossing our fingers that those will come in soon. So we're excited about that. The other thing that we're excited about that is many of you are familiar with our Soda Cap Connector brand. And that is the brand that goes around the heart of the city. It hits all the major business districts, as in Main Street District, Vista, 5 Points, Historic District, and West Columbia Casey. But the cool thing that we're going to be doing in 2023 is adding a DIY tour. So you can get on the bus, download the tour, and we'll give you earplugs, and we'll tell you which stop to get on at, so it's synced up. And you can hear about historically African American monuments.
Oh, how cool.
You can hear about Jewish monuments. You can hear about what Adlu flour, the history behind that, and the State Museum that used to be a mill, and all of these really cool things that are really concentrated in downtown Columbia. You get to hear about those things. We've partnered with Historic Columbia and with the Wagosia Foundation to make sure that we hit those different markers. So we're excited about that. That should be coming online in early spring.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
The Comet is so impressive when it comes to what they're doing in innovation. And at the tailgating event, in fact, someone got on the bus who was like me. I hadn't ridden a public transit bus in a very long time. And they got on the bus and said, "Oh, these are the city buses?" And Pam, what did you say when they said
we're no longer just the city bus. We go through multiple counties, and we're a regional authority.
Wow.
And I just think that that's important, because I think a lot of people think just downtown or whatever, but it's absolutely fantastic, because again, just so Pam knows as well, what the states are doing that get the CDC funding, they share with one another across the country. So the Comet bus it has gone all across the country as far as information. Our CDC project officer loved the idea, and it sets an example. See, that's what's so wonderful about partnering in necessarily unexpected places, is it doesn't just have an effect for us. It has an effect across the country, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who thought, it never occurred to me to call up our public transit system and see if they would work with us on this message.
Right.
So it's been fantastic. I mean, not only Black Expo, the Comet, the South Carolina State Fair. I mean, we constantly are looking for partners, but every time we find a partner like Darrin, like Pam, who are like, listen, we're happy to partner with you. How can we maximize your message? They're the experts in their area. So Pam has come up with all kinds of ideas, and we're like, oh, okay, we didn't think about that. Great, thanks. She's helping us utilize her system as best, to its fullest potential.
And Michelle, I mean, you make a great point, because that is the beauty of a good partnership.
Absolutely.
You came to the table with one thing, but because Pam is, on the ground, she can figure out, she knows everything else going on. So she can then kind of connect you and link you in to the various other initiatives and promotions that they have going on.
Absolutely. I mean, she's the same kind of partner that you are, Trey. That's what we've been happy to please partner with you. But that's the main thing. If we come with one idea and you can come back with 10 and make it easy, that's the other thing that Pam has done. Because if it were any harder, we have a lot of work to do on our own. So, but she was just like, listen, You just give it to us, bring it to our doorstep. I'll handle it from here. That's the kind of partner we need.
And I do want to say I have a great team that I work with here at the Comet. So it's
Right.
not just the Pam show. It's a lot of hands touch it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
From the maintenance people that make sure that it's all tuned up and ready to go on the road and clean and shined and all of that, to the drivers, to to our marketing team here, and who we throw out ideas and we look at ways to really just maximize the exposure, for our partnerships.
Yeah, awesome. Pamela Bynoe Reed is with the Comet Bus System. She is a marketing director, community affairs, and public relations officer. We're also joined by Michelle Harris, who is communications and resource officer at the Division of Diabetes and Heart Disease Management with SCDHEC. We are talking about unexpected collaborations in unexpected places. Pam, before you leave, I do want to ask you about, kind of a hot topic, a rumor that has been going around about the Comet moving their very central and popular main location from the corner of Sumter and Laurel Streets to out by the Comet's main headquarters. Can you give us an update about that?
First of all, Trey, thank you for asking that question because I am delighted to answer it. The Comet is not moving. What is being built on the corner of Lucius and River is a super stop. Okay. What our goal is to have multiple transfer points around our service territory, so that if you don't have to go downtown, you don't have to go downtown.
Right.
Let's just face it. If you're going from Garner's Ferry to Two Notch, why do you have to go downtown to get there?
Right.
When you could go to the super stop. That's actually at Columbia Mall. We have one there for that very same reason. So we're looking at ways to make our system more efficient, and really to see if we have any ways to make that commute a better commute. Does that mean? So that means that there are some routes that will be a little bit shorter. But you might have one or two that may be a couple of minutes longer, but we're just trying to make sure that we have efficient connecting points, to help people in their travel.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So the bottom line is it's not moving. It's going to stay there. But over on Lucius Road, there is an additional stop. The
Right.
super, you said super connector?
It's called a super stop.
Super
Yes.
stop. All right. Awesome. That's great to know because again, as you know, there's been, because the biggest thing is why would they move it? Well, you're saying because they're not.
because we're not. And we will be reaching out to the community when routes will connect there so that they'll know. So it's not going to be an overnight, the Comet did this. We try to make sure that we connect with people like Midlands Transit Riders Association and with the neighborhoods so they know what's going on.
Yeah, awesome. Pamela Bynoe Reed is Director of Marketing Community Partners and PIO with the Comet Bus System. Thank you so much for joining us today, Pam. And Michelle, of course, like I said, great person, great partner. She is PIO with SCDHEC, and we appreciate you guys coming on today to really not only let us know about these collaborations in unexpected places, but just opening up other people's minds to how you can connect unexpectedly, for the greater good, so to speak, to get the information out, to raise people's awareness, and of course, ultimately to get connected with community. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining us, and thank you for your willingness to collaborate in unexpected places. We appreciate you both.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So listen, if you have a story or initiative that could help someone cope, please email booking@copingwithtreytailor.com. That information should be scrolling at the bottom of the screen, booking@copingwithtreytailor.com. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope, please email copingwithtreytailor.com. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. Of course, they sponsor Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Trey Tailor. Also, Javis Financial Services, the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office, Attorney Byron Gibson, Palmetto social media connections, Black Pages, Black Expo, the Comet has been a sponsor, Computers Unique, Duck Square Mall, and Agape Counseling and Training Services. As always, we will leave you with a spiritual reading, and we have been reading Jesus Calling. And today it says, I want you to learn a new habit. Try saying, I trust you, Jesus, in response to whatever happens. If there's a time, think about who I am in all power and glory. Ponder also the depth and breadth of my love for you. This simple practice will help you see me, not me, him in every situation, acknowledging my sovereign control over the universe. When you view events from my perspective, through the light of my universal presence, fear loses its grip on you. Adverse circumstances become growth opportunities when you affirm your trust in me no matter what. You receive blessings gracefully, right? Realizing they flow directly from my hand of grace. Your continual assertion of trusting me will strengthen our relationship and keep you close to me. That's your Jesus Calling for today, Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, January 4th. Listen, thank you again so much for joining us today on our Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. Personally, I just want to thank the sister who does our graphics, Tanisha Bryant, for filling in at the last minute, producing this show when our producer became ill today. We appreciate you, Tanisha. And of course, many blessings and for health to our regular producer, Charity Mealing. Listen, thank you again so much for joining us. Until the next time, I wish you peace and abundant blessings. Take care, stay well, God bless. And listen, it's still a lot going on out there. So if you're going to be out and about in clothes with a lot of people, we still suggest that you wear your mask over your nose and under your chin.
Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success, for improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive, ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting learning what you can do, 6 ways to a better you.